How is it going in India?
It's the cases are increasing. The COVID cases are increasing, and yeah, it's not
Okay.
too good right now. Yeah,
Mm. Where
it is.
exactly are you from again in India?
I'm from Telangana state. There's a state called Telangana, which they just created
Telangana.
recently. Yeah, and Hyderabad is a city.
Mm.
Yes.
Telangana. Okay. I'm just Googling
Yeah.
it. I don't have so much knowledge about
Yeah.
India. Mm.
Straight
Yeah.
mind. Straight mind. I saw your updates, your videos, some of your videos in my free time. I love to watch it. The way you say, I felt really, you are loving your subject, and I think you're going to be one of the famous psychologists in the world.
I don't know. I'm not like, obviously it's cool to be like famous and rich and whatever, and maybe it happens, but if it's not happening, it's also cool. I just want to do what I like on a day-to-day basis. And even if I'm like an average therapist or coach, that's also cool. But who knows what's happening?
Yeah,
Maybe you're going to be the leading India podcast YouTuber interviewing like people about psychology and whatever.
I'm just knowing their experiences from different countries. But I really follow you. I admire you, I can say, because in the first meet that was extremely positive, and I got positive words for that video that which I made with you, and my friend was saying that the person who is a psychologist was a very knowledge person. He's telling he have
Cool,
enough clarity about things. He
cool.
can yeah.
I
My
appreciate it.
questions, yeah, I have my questions today. I want
Cool.
to
How are things going?
I
How are things going for you? What are you currently doing?
I'm making videos, and I have to upload 5 to 6 videos today. Yeah.
Nice, nice. And are you still like, are you having a job currently? Or are you going to school? What are you doing currently?
No, I have a source where I can get money, but I don't have problem about financial thing.
Mm,
I'm just like you said in the beginning. You have to do what exactly you want to do, what you love, and
yeah,
that that is making
cool,
me to do videos. Yeah.
cool, cool. If you want to, we can directly get started and just flow with the session.
Yeah.
Is there any
My
overall topic today or just general?
general chatting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. You're already recording.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought we haven't started yet. Okay, cool. Then let's get into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
So
go.
my first question is you will explain about the human psychology, and there are a lot of people who comes to you and who asks about different things about their life, about their happenings, their behavior, everything, and you spend alone or time. I mean, you spend time alone or you spend time with people, because this is I want to know your psychology.
Mm. Okay, whether I like spend a lot of time on alone or with a lot of people, and how that's a very good question actually. Um, and I try to balance it actually, because I there's this balance between input and output. And if you like constantly get input from outside, like constantly reading books, podcasts, chilling with people, at some point it's like too much, and you kind of forget who you are. And because if you really want to listen to your inner voice, you need to be silent. So it's really important that you have some me time, go for a walk on your own, do stuff on your own, just maybe even read a book. Also means that like not like constantly socializing with other people, but sometimes just go for a walk without anything, no input all the time. So I try to keep my balance. Actually, today I just went for a walk for an hour just on my own, just to relax and recover. And there I don't have a particular goal. I just mind wander and I just see, hey, what is popping up? And then I just think about whatever is popping up. And also, I'm meditating a lot. I meditate every day for 20 minutes. Actually, I just meditated before the call, so today's like 40 minutes I meditated, just to be silent and listen what is coming up to calm my mind. But then on the other hand, I think it's super valuable to surround yourself with inspiring people, to connect with like-minded people, such as we're doing, like fellow YouTubers, and talk with people who are like have great ideas, and you can share it, get the input. So it's the balance. I would say it's kind of like maybe it's 50-50 with socializing and not. And I sometimes get a lot of energy also with socializing. Also work-wise, I can't sit on my own on my desk and work the entire day. I end up on YouTube and watch stupid videos. So then I make sure I connect with like people or have a coaching call or talk with people together. But I would say it's a balance which depends on everybody. Some people need a little bit more socializing. Some people need a little bit more me time. There is a difference, actually, a genetic difference also between like more introverts and more extroverts. And extroverts, they gain energy out of socializing with other people. And introverts, they feel less energized if they socialize with a lot of people. So there is a difference. And I would say it depends on everybody, but I think it's for everybody important to have a certain balance, to get inspiring input from the right people. And we talked about this before in the last talk, right? Who are the right people and how to connect with them, but then also really not get any input and just be calm, just go for a walk, just meditate, not listen to other people, but also not other podcasts or videos. Just shut it all out. Both is important. Yeah, that's my take on it.
My second question is, recently I had chat with a person who is from I forgot the country. He do podcast. He said me that he disconnected from the social world. He don't want to talk with anybody, and he decided to spend his time with only internet, not with other people. He came to know that internet is the only thing which is intelligent, knowledgeable, and information, everything. Internet is giving everything to him, and he's sitting in a dark room, and he's absorbing all the energies and all the knowledge. When I had talked with him, he was telling me that I have seen myself in him. I have seen myself in him. I'm same kind of person who will not connect with people because they distract me. I'm going I'm thinking in a particular way, and they change the direction of my thinking. If I meet them, or if I listen to their sound, or if I see their visual or photograph in Facebook, like you said, you don't want to put time on YouTube. You don't want to get distracted, and it is very tough job for me. It is very, very, and he said the same, and I connected with him, and I connected with you first time. I still remember the words you said.
So he's just basically on the internet, so he's not getting distracted with other people.
What do you say about this? What do you say about this? Connecting only with internet and disconnecting with, and he connected with the virtual people, and he feel comfortable with virtual people than the people who are living beside him. Yeah.
Okay. So he is talking with people, but just via the internet. Okay, then I don't get the argument to get distracted by people, because he's then still connecting with people and talking with them, so he still can get distracted by that. And also you can get really distracted by the internet. We also know that. I don't know what's the reasoning behind that. I don't want to be prejudgmental or whatever. To me, it sounds a bit odd to only spend time in a room sitting there connecting with your laptop and your internet all day long and never really have like physical connection. We talked about artificial intelligence before, and we are human beings, and there's artificial intelligence. And that's, for example, if you set a goal, I'll just give an example here, you can just tell the artificial intelligence, do that. With a human being, you can say what he shall do, but you also need to answer the why question. Why is this important, right? Why is this meaningful? And this is why we're humans. We need emotions, we need connection. And I perceive it as very healthy to connect with people also in real life. We are the product of the evolution of thousands of years. And for thousands of years, it was normal to see people face to face in real life, to touch them, to talk to them. And that just the last 2 decades or so, it became normal to hang more around in the internet, but like fully like getting isolated, not sure whether this is the most happiest approach in life you can take. And he is still talking with people, as you said, via the internet. So he's like, this argument of not getting distracted is not holding here for me, because he's still connecting with people. Yeah.
And
I
he's
suggest,
feeling,
yeah,
yeah,
go for it.
yeah. He's feeling comfortable being alone. And he did not said that I'll be alone all the time. He hang out with people who are connected with him. But his experiences, his past experiences, making him to be far from the social world. I think this is what I understood. I don't want to name him
Okay.
because he's my subscriber.
Yeah, of
I
course.
don't want to put. I
Of
don't want to
course.
put his name.
So maybe
So
he's suffering from social anxiety.
he's not suffering. He's feeling comfortable.
Okay. All right.
He's
I mean, if
feeling
he feels
comfortable.
good about it, perfect. If he feels good about it, that's it. If he's like having such negative emotions with people, and though he's like still connecting via the internet, I'm wondering what is going on. Maybe he lost his trust in humanity and other people, and maybe he can rebuild this somehow. But if he's comfortable with it, he's like, hey, this is cool, I like that, that's the way it is, then there's no need to change, right? Only if he would be like, oh, maybe it would be nicer to connect once in a while with people that actually like me, then we can talk about it. But if he's like, hey, everything is perfect, then no need to change.
What do you say about these internet connections?
What do you mean exactly?
You're connecting with different people through internet, your mobile phone, your laptop,
Yeah.
and most of the people today using social networks, they are connecting with a lot of different thinking people in the world. What do you say? What do you observe? Before social network and after social network, before 5 years and after 5 years today. Yeah.
Actually, this reminds me of my friend. He wrote a master thesis about social media, and that there's also a difference whether you feel good about it or not, depending on how you use social media. So if you actually, there was a correlation. If you're more like an introvert and you're just like scrolling through Instagram and Facebook, and you're not like truly interacting, this is when you actually get a little bit more sad about it, and you're like feeling less good about yourself. But if you're somebody's like really like looking for content and have like meaningful relations with people, like meaningful conversations, we are like texting or voice message or like video chat, this is actually when you enjoy yourself much more. So via the internet connection, I think it's important that we're not getting those passive consumers of videos and text and whatever, but meaningfully interact with people, and then it's going to be more meaningful and more fruitful. Yeah. And I myself, I do feel energized when I coach people or talk with people one-on-one, but it's then meaningful talk, and I really enjoy what I'm doing here. Yeah. Would I like to trade though everything onto internet conversation? Probably not. I still really enjoy face-to-face, like real life interaction, and you experience people much more, much in another level. This is just 2D, like, but 3D, like this would be really nice. It's really intense. Yeah, but it's definitely a cool tool, and it will come more and more. We get those 3D glasses at some point, and we can sit in a room and talk like, hey, what's going on? So it's getting more and more real.
Texting and voice call and video call, these are the mediums with which people are connecting in internet. And before that, there is no internet. People used to see each other, and if I'm not liking a person, if I'm not interested in talking with a person, I'll just I'll just rotate my face. I just go from there. Uh, Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll just go from there. And today, block is the option which is disconnecting people, and silent mode is making disconnect is the major thing, became major thing, and disconnecting people. And 90, I can say 80 to 90% of the human beings time today he's spending on internet. Is good or bad?
I don't like using the word good or bad. again, I think it's the way you use it. It's like a fire. I think the internet is the perfect metaphor of a fire. A fire can be warm and cozy, and you can sit around the fire and you can make some marshmallows and meat and eat something, but you can also burn yourself and it can hurt really, really hard, right? So I think it's the way you use it. How do you use the internet? Do you use it in a fruitful way that actually energizes you? Just check in once in a while after you're in the internet, after half an hour. Do I feel like more lethargic and like sad and without energy, or do I feel energized because I'm like connecting with people and this is amazing? And if you feel energized, this is like the right track, and then you're using it the right way. So again, like feeling how you feel about it, I think this helps you to see which approach are you using. Are you burning yourself right now, or are you making like a really nice marshmallow on the fire? Yeah.
Okay. Are you self control? Can you control yourself every time, every day, every minute?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, no. Uh, but what's actually, and then we get actually into habits. How do you change your habits if you have like negative habits here? And what is most important is, for example, I give you an example in my life. I realized at like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I slack off on YouTube and watch stupid videos, which don't really help me. And I realized this, and this is like my pattern. And then I thought, okay, why is this happening? Why is this happening? And I realized, okay, in the morning, if I work on my own, in the afternoon, I feel a little bit tired and lonely. And then I kind of go on YouTube. This is like the trigger of like feeling tired, bored, lonely. Then I go on YouTube. I realized this is the thing. Okay, so how can I just plan my day totally different that I'm not thinking about this? For example, if I go for a walk outside in nature, I would never think about, oh, now I could watch some stupid videos on YouTube. You don't think about it. Or if you like talk, I'm talking now with you, do I think about going on YouTube? No, because we're talking here. So I make sure this time I'm either taking a nap, I'm going for a walk, I have a coaching call, or I meet with other people I'm working together with. That makes me not feel like going on YouTube. So that's actually the number one thing, is the context. So what is the environment you're in? If you're alone in your room all the time, you probably check your phone much more often. You probably consume much more and do things you don't want to do. If you hang around with like-minded people, or you go to work and connect there with other people, or you go for a walk, you don't even have the temptation and you don't need to self-regulate, right? Because the environment is most important. And this is what I'm trying to handle the most. And this is what helped me the most, because we can't have self-regulation all the time throughout the entire day and always willpower of like, no, I'm not going there, I'm not doing this. I mean, you don't even realize it. You are already on YouTube and you're like, oh shit, I didn't want to go on YouTube. Oh, damn it. Right? So don't rely on your willpower all the time. You can use it once in a while, but it's a resource that is actually lowering throughout the day, and you don't have enough to always push yourself. So plan your day the right way and make sure that you have the right rest breaks and you're not getting so much temptation to do that. Yeah, that would be my advice, the number one advice if I had to give one. Yeah. How is it about you? Do you sometimes like slack off and like waste time on the internet, or how's it working for you?
Uh, I don't know whether to say this on video or not. I will say, but I I spend a lot of time on internet. I felt, I think I can say I'm addicted to internet, because I understood that internet is a source where I can get any information, and which made me to stand before you today. Internet, I have to
Mm-hmm.
thank Google and I have to thank YouTube for uh, giving this opportunity to talk with a person who is talking about human psychology, who knows,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
already studied about that subject. And I got that opportunity only because of this internet. And I cannot say that internet is spoiling me. Internet is allowing me to connect with good people, uh, good knowledgeable people who can give me a perspective, who can tell me what working for them. At the same time, uh, you're also telling about different perspectives, and you're telling about your perspective. But most of the time, maybe because of the subject you studied, you are convincing me. You are convincing me, and your intention is not to convince me, but you are telling your your knowledge. You are telling your information. Your subject, that I felt like connected. And recently, I did a video with American fitness trainer, and I call him as power. He's very powerful. His muscles are too good. He was When he's talking, he's using his intensity, and he's he's telling that everything is possible. His age is 45. He's telling that everything is possible. You can do this. I asked him a question that why a friend of mine is discouraging me for making YouTube videos, and he's saying that this will not work for you, and whatever you're doing, this is stupid. And this is what I said to him. To know what he says, you know what he said? He said, "Who is he to tell you?" And the way he said made me to don't care others' perceptions or advices. And I blocked him recently. The person who is affecting me negatively, I blocked him. And like you said, avoid negativity. Be far from things which are affecting you and which are not allowing you to do what you wanted. And that is working for me. And today, just now you asked me that what is my perception. I am I am confused talking with different people. I don't know who is correct. I don't know who is wrong. I don't have
Yeah.
any perception today.
But I like this. It's funny that you say this because today a friend also asked me a specific question. Yeah, we actually discussed about love, and she
Yeah,
came up with a theory, and she wanted my opinion. And then I started talking. I was like, well, I see where you're coming from. This is a nice perception. And then I also see this other psychologist who's coming from this direction, who's saying that that's also true. I mean, I also have to admit that, like, I don't actually and then I was thinking, is it actually a weakness of mine to sometimes just take all the perspectives into account and not have one own opinion? But sometimes that's just reality, that there are multiple perspectives and it depends on the context. And there's not one true thing. It's like it's that way, right? There are multiple things. I always like to use the metaphor of if you look at how do you call it? A dice. You know what a dice is? The
yeah,
one
yeah,
that you
yeah, yeah,
yeah. And if you just look at it from one angle, you would only see one flat part, right? With like maybe 6 dots on it. But that's not reality. So you need to have a second angle where you see, oh, there's another. Okay, okay. And if you have like a couple of angles, then you see the entire dice, right? But just having one opinion and it's like that, it's not reality. So it depends on the context, and there are different things in there. So I totally agree with that. And reality is not as simple to just have one opinion. It's always like that. And I'm certainly right. It's probably wrong.
seeing all sides of the dial, whatever dice, seeing all sides of the dice made me created confusion in me.
Yeah, I get you. But that's part of the process. And it's actually the next level that you are aware of not knowing, right? There is actually a nice graph that once shown like how confident people are to know something. And if usually people get into a new topic, let's say coaching, they get into it the first time and they're like, well, yeah, it's easy. I can do this, I know stuff about it. And then the more they learn about it, the more unsure they get to say, like, oh, there's so much to learn. There's so much more. The more I learn, the more I realize what I not know. There's so much. And then at some point, again, the curve goes up and be like, yeah, I think by now, after years, I have a good idea, but it never goes as high as it was in the beginning. It's like overconfidence. I know everything. Like, shit, I don't know anything. And after a couple of years, it's like, here, like, yeah, well, I know decent stuff and it's truthful, but there's still so much left and I will never reach it in 100 years. So that's how it goes. And being down here is like, it's an improvement because you're like, hey, I don't know everything and there's so much more. And it's not possible to learn so much in 100 years or 80 years, how old you're getting. It's okay to sometimes not know. It's okay. It's okay
Every
to
day,
wonder.
every day I
Interesting.
wake up. Yeah, every day I wake up in the morning. I don't know whether to follow this person. I don't know whether to follow this person. I don't know to trust this person or to take advice this person. Actually, people are thinking that I'm doing a great job. Actually, they don't know what is happening inside my house, inside me. I
Yeah.
totally become blank. I'm knowing different perspectives, and before that, I used to have a perspective, and I totally lost my ego by seeing them, and I came to know that I'm not the only human being on this planet. There are a lot of people who are thinking in different ways,
Yeah.
and everybody is saying their perspective. And then what I understood is YouTube videos. I see a lot of YouTube videos. People put a lot of thumbnails for the YouTube their videos, and I was confused. Putting thumbnails to make people to attract and to come into my video, or just to put what exactly I talked with Marco.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking with a psychologist right now. I should put a chatting with a Netherlands psychologist, Marco Sandler. I should put this, or whether to put something which makes people to come into the video, and if the title of the video doesn't match with the content, they abuse
Yeah.
me. And I don't want somebody to I don't want to do this for money. I just want to say what I love and what I'm talking about. So even if I don't get views, or even if I don't get uh, things, also I don't really give a lot of importance, because I am not doing this for money. I'm just doing this to show people what I am, and this is what happened to me. And people are doing this is also psychology, right? People are putting titles on their videos to attract people, and they are trying to connect with a particular. They are trying to connect with large number of people with their thoughts,
Mm.
and they are connecting, and they have a lot of subscribers, and what is working for them?
Yeah, that's actually I feel like it's a moral dilemma because on the one hand you're like, hey, I want to do this not for money and I just do it for love, but I know what I'm doing is good and I would like to see like have as many followers as possible so they can learn from that and get inspired. So I should make it appealing to them, right? I should make it as a you're back. Hey.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what I said is basically there's this one extreme of like, yeah, just doing whatever, and then there's this other extreme of like just putting everything in the title and that people just click at it, even though it's not the right thing. And then the question is, where's the moral compass? Where's the direction? Because I think it's a valuable thing to say like, hey, I have good content. I would like to drag as many people as possible on my videos because I have good content. So selling is a part of it. Like also on my YouTube channel, I'm having a nice thumbnail with nice light and I'm taking the best picture possible that I find because I want to make it as appealing as possible. And I'm also checking which title do I take. For example, yesterday I shot a video, it's not out yet, but I then called it Low. What to do when I feel lonely, and also the keyword loneliness. So I put this in the title and make it as appealing as possible. So I found my compass of, yes, it's okay to make it as appealing as possible, but I never deceive people into a direction of like, oh, he's talking about something totally different. Because what I state in the title, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And this is my personal compass. And I don't want to clickbait people to make like beautiful women in the picture, and then it's just me standing there. This is then when I'm less okay with it. But it's a tricky balance, and I also had to find it because I realized at some point you need to have people watch your videos. Also, if you go to the supermarket, you need to pay with money. You can't pay with love. So you also need to have some income. And at some point, you also have to say, hey, I coach you, but in reverse, you need to pay me some money, right? And what is the right balance there? How much do you get and how much not? It's a tricky balance, a tricky moral balance also for me still, but I'm trying to figure it out. And my personal statement is here is make it as appealing as possible, but never deceive people, but make it super appealing that they really want to like it, but don't deceive people. Like that's my personal standard right now from a moral point of view. And again, maybe somebody else has another statement and that's also correct from their point of view.
and what do you understood about the women who are connected with you? I don't want you to name them. I just want to tell some of your experiences with women from different parts of the world, with the people who, with the women who, with whom you have experience. I want you to tell about women mindset. I mean, not women mindset, women's with whom you connected. I want you to tell about your experiences with them.
Mm-hmm. Do you talk about romantic relationships or just generally women? What is the question behind, or what are you trying to hint towards?
Men, how men should talk with women.
Mm-hmm.
What to
Generally,
talk.
in general,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. In general, what to talk and what not to talk. What actually affects them and what will not affect them. I know a lot of girls who are connected to me will see these videos. I want you to tell your
So what are you
perspective.
still aiming at? Is it like flirting, romantic relationships, or is it just normal communication with girls?
Uh, just how what happens between men and women. I already know what happens men and men, but what happens between men and women when they see them for the first time, and when they start talking, and a lot of people I know say that women are the people you can't understand. One perspective, one of my friends said me that women are the people you can't understand, you don't know them. I just I didn't took his perspective, but I want you to tell about uh, your uh, thoughts about it.
Yeah, actually, here I got a book. I advise it to people. It's called Men Are From Mars and Women Are from Venus. It's actually talking about it's actually talking about exactly this topic. I got a couple. Reading is, by the way, reading is one of the most important things for me. So I have a couple of books here. Um,
Great.
and actually, by the way, I come back to your question, but whenever I read a book, I mark the most important things. I mark them, and then I
Yeah, yeah.
make a summary. I make a summary of the most important things, which I'm having then here, and I can always take a look at the most important things that I read here. I don't want to read through everything, but super interesting. Anyway, so I talked also to people before who were like, oh, I can't understand women. Nobody can understand women. It's a mysterium. We don't know what about. But actually, also, if you read this book, you understand there is actually a common pattern, and men act in a different way and women act in a different way. Women are, for example, usually definitely more emotional. Men are more rational. And that's
Yeah.
why we then have conflict. For example, a woman is coming to a man and be like, you have this problem here at work. My coworker is this struggle and whatever. And men, since they're so rational, they always work solution oriented. So they're like, well, you could talk to this person. Well, you could figure something out here. You could talk to your boss. You could just do this and that, and directly come up with solutions rationally. And then the woman doesn't feel connected. She's like, wait, but here and this and that. And then the man's like, I can't. Like, I just gave you a result, a solution here. Just take it. Why are you still like annoying and unhappy about it? And then men are like, hey, I don't understand women. But women, since they are more emotional, at first, also men, but especially women, at first they don't look for a solution. They more want to connect emotionally. They more want to have somebody who's like, oh, like, I understand you. Like, this is painful that there's so much stress at work and you go there every day. Like, this stresses you, right? And more like sit with them in the dirt and understand them for a long while. And then at some point, they would maybe like to have a tip and maybe a solution, but not at first. And men are very rational often and directly get into the solution. And then the women doesn't really get it and be like, wait, yes, I told you about it, but it doesn't mean that I directly want a solution. And then men are like, I don't get you. Like, women, nobody gets it. But well, there is a common pattern. This is just one example. Um, yeah, and there are tons of other examples how women are working, and how do they connect, also from an evolutionary perspective. In general, though, because you said how to talk with women, I think the most important thing and the best thing you can do is, first of all, respect every human being and just be lighthearted. Here, by the way, here's another book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is basically how to connect with other people and how to talk to people and make friends. And this is the same with women or men. Just be interested in those people, actually give them a chance, listen to them, ask some questions. And then if they feel like, hey, he's caring about me, he's interested about me, then you get a deep connection and then you're sharing. And by the way, any friendship or any relationship, independent of a man or a woman, is always based on some similarity. You never meet somebody and be like, oh, I'm this way. Oh, you're the other way. Oh, that's cool. Hello. No, it's more like, oh, you also play cricket. Oh, you also do sports. Oh, you also have a YouTube channel. Nice, right? All similarities. Nice. You are as tall as I am. Oh, you also have blonde hair. Like similarity is always the connection of friendship. Oh, you are also having this friend. Oh, it's also my friend. We have similar friends. Hey, nice to meet you. Right? Similarity is always the foundation of any connection to any human being. So if you start having a talk, find some similarities. Ask some questions. Oh, you're also reading books. Interesting. What books are you reading? I also read this book. Cool. Right? So similarity is always key with women, but also with men. Yeah.
I want to talk about jealousy. Jealousy is
Sorry?
an emotion. I want to talk
Jealousy.
about
Yeah.
jealousy. Yeah, jealousy is the emotion which is affecting me right now. There are people with that emotion. I'm doing nothing to them. I'm not affecting them. They are trying to affect me because I'm doing something which they are not doing, which they can't do, and that is making them to. I'm not affecting them. I'm just doing what I love and what I understand, or what I think, what I have knowledge on, which I have interest. I'm doing something. I'm not doing great. I'm just doing what I know. I can't be like you, but they are attacking me. But I'm avoiding it. I'm trying to avoid their emotion. But what do you say? Jealousy is the emotion which can be removed, or which can be. I can control my jealousy. My emotion will be in my control. But the person with jealousy, the consequence of his emotion called jealousy is affecting me, is trying to stop me from doing something which I love. And
Yeah.
this is why the reason, you know, this is India. This is not Netherlands. People will not talk like Marco. People talk differently here. People will not be so open. A lot of people I know are introverts. They can't tell what they learned because they feel insecure. Because if I say something which I collected the information, they may learn and they may become big, or they may earn more money, or they may impress more girls. This kind of things I observed, and jealousy is affecting me. Jealousy is affecting a lot of people I know, and how to select people who can control their emotion called jealousy. How to select? How can we know?
Hmm. Yeah, first of all, it's true there is a massive cultural difference between India and Europe, um, which is just true. And I never understand your culture as good as you do. I can only like guess and have some hints. So also, by the way, everything that I'm saying again is maybe not true in the context of an Indian culture, right? So also keep that in mind. So your last question was basically how do you select people that not are jealous or that are not jealous on you,
Jealous or
right?
not will not affect me or anybody
Mm,
who is
mm,
watching this video.
mm. So does it mean when you like meet new people, how can you see who is jealous or not? Or is it like how
Yeah.
to deal with people who are jealous right now in your social circle?
Anywhere in gym, I used to go gym before this lockdown.
Okay.
I used to work out a lot. I used to have very good body, and I saw your workout videos also. I felt like you are also a person who works in
Yeah.
spends time in gym, and that is one of the thing which made me to connect with you. Coming to the point, gym. If somebody have a good body, if I have a good body, somebody who is men, most of the men used to feel jealous and used to throw
Yeah.
some negative comments. They're trying to attack me with the words,
Yeah.
"You have very small biceps, man. you have very small. Your face is not so good. No, not so attractive. Your eyes are not so good. So this is
Yeah.
how they used to say. So but I
Yeah.
understood that jealousy is the thing which is making them to talk like that.
Yeah. I think generally dealing with jealousy, um, like one thing will help you the most if you gain perspective and broaden your horizon and not just be just hurt because, hey, he's jealous and he's hurting me. What a nut. I don't like that. Broaden your horizon, think, hey, what is the reason for him being jealous? What is going on here? Often it's also jealousy of people who are in your close proximity or your friends because you're all friends, you're all on the same level. And at some point, one of those people who are on the same level is like making gains in the gym, or he's like starting a YouTube video talking, a YouTube channel talking with nice people. So it seems like he's a bit more successful. Now, from the other perspective of the other people, it's like, oh, he got successful. I didn't, but we come from the same area, like we're the same people, kind of, which means that I should have been also successful. I mean, I'm also going to the gym. I should have been also made so many gains, but I didn't. But we come from the same area, which is kind of then suddenly an insult to them to like, hey, I'm a loser because I didn't do that, right? So they feel threatened about it, right? You get it?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this is then when people feel threatened, this is some sort of pain, right? They feel hurt in a sense, like, oh, I didn't do it. Am I good enough? This massive question, which almost everybody has here in the human on the planet. Am I good enough? Oh, like he's better. Am I still good enough? There's some pain behind, and a lot of people use pain, like use attacking as sort of like defense of their pain, and then they start like being jealous, saying rude things like, no, he's not that good, he has an ugly face, which kind of then gives them a reason to like, no, he is not that good, he's like ugly, so he's like on my level, he's not better than me, just telling, right? So usually by gaining awareness that there's some insecurity behind, this makes you feel much better because you actually start to feel compassionate, and you're like, hey, I understand this guy. He's like kind of jealous because I did something that he didn't do. And I see that it's nice what I'm doing here. He doesn't have that. Okay, he just has some pain behind, which makes you feel more positive. You're actually more nicer to this person. Maybe this resolves their jealousy because they realize, wait, like he's still such a nice guy and I am such a douchebag. Maybe they realize that. But by gaining this awareness of where is it coming from, you will deal with that much more loving, and you don't feel hurt or rejected or negative about it. Yeah.
Logical thinkers and rational thinkers, they give me a good answers and they will not fight with me, or they will not use words which affects me while talking with them. They use very good words, even if they want to say something negative about me. They use, you know, words which will not affect me that much. And that is how the rational and logical thinkers will explain me my negatives, or whatever what negatives, the negatives that I have. So there are people who always searches for the negatives in me, who always wants
Mm.
to see something negative in my YouTube video, who always wants to
Mm.
say that even I can talk with a different country person, even I can do that, even I can. So why you're not doing that? Why you are unable to do that? Who is saying no to that? Everybody have the same percentage of energies, and everybody can use their brain, their mind, and you can do in your way, and you cannot be me. And it is me myself which is making something maybe working, something I tried that didn't work for a long time. I did 270 videos, and there are people who did 70 videos and went to top position. And what should I feel then? I should feel that I'm a guy who is not talking good, who is not doing videos in a good way. Should I think like that? I don't know what works for me, and I decided to go in my own way, even if I felt I want to face the consequence. My question is, the people constantly attacking. And I want to give you an example. One of my friend who is very close, who is emotionally connected to me. Friends are emotionally connected. Friends equal to emotion actually. So emotion will not allow you to think about logic, and people who think about logic will not be too emotional. So I have people who are emotional, and even if I do video with you right now, I'm doing in a balcony. Somebody comes to me and they don't care about what I'm doing. They just want to say hi, or they don't care. I'm talking with a person who is great person, who is talking from different country. He's giving me time, and he's talking with me. He don't care. He don't want to care what I'm doing. He just want me to respond to his hi. So that is what emotionally connected people are affecting me. How to avoid, how to tell them the logic.
Mm.
Even the
Well,
family members, even the family
yeah.
members are emotionally connected, and friends, yeah, emotionally connected people are affecting me. They're not listening to my logic. How you will, as a psychologist, how you will uh, uh, do that. I mean, how you make things go in your way.
Mm. Yeah, also good question because apparently, as you said, you already shared your logic and you were trying to explain them because often this is like the lack of a lot of people. They're always in their head every day, so it's hard to switch perspective sometimes. And sometimes we need somebody else who's telling us, hey, wait, from my perspective, it's this way. I'm doing this video, it's important to me. Um, and they still don't get it, which can be really frustrating. Sometimes it means to go a step further and not only talk about the logic, what you said, like I share the logic, they don't get it, also share the emotions and say, hey, I feel hurt about it, that you don't respect my boundaries here. And it's kind of like painful for me that I can't do this video because it's important for me and I feel helpless about it. If you go more on the emotional level, it sometimes helps a little bit more. And otherwise, there's this nice quote: you can only drag a horse to the pond. It has to drink on its own. So you can't like influence other people fully all the time. You can drag them to the pond and like tell them, hey, man, see, this is how it's going. I would appreciate it if you would do it differently. But at the end, like whether they act like this and drink the water and actually act, you don't have fully influence on that. And that's sad in a certain way, but that's also how life works. So you either like make a compromise or you find a way, for example, in this way that nobody's disturbing you while you're shooting this video. Yeah, but it's sometimes tricky to show people that. Yeah, what maybe helps those people, because those people are often very much concerned about what other people think about them and try to stay in the social norm and not be different. If they understand that it's like normal you shoot a video, then everybody else is not disturbing you. If they understand that other people get it and they are doing it the same way and they are the only dumb people who are still not getting it and annoying you, then they might change their behavior. So maybe go on the social norm and be like, hey, all my friends by now actually accept, like, respect that, and like 80% of the people do never like disturb me because they understand that you're like the only one. This might be also an argument for them to be like, okay, let's listen maybe closer.
Yeah,
Yeah, but good luck with that. People are
yeah,
tricky.
how you treat the people who don't want to listen to the logic of yours. You're telling a logic, you're saying them a logic, you have a logic, but they are they're not listening to you. They're continuously talking to you. And how will you go away from uh, the place, or you just argue with them?
Mm. Yeah, actually, basically this way, logic and then also emotion. And if it's not working, well, usually it's working for me. Sometimes, for example, I give you actually a personal example. My mother is, especially now during the coronavirus, like a bit cautious, like, hey, what is going on with the crisis? And that I'm like wearing my mask and everything. And if I tell her like, hey, you told me this 5 times today, please stop, it's not working. But if like more going on the emotional level and like hug her and be like, hey, I understood that I should take care of myself. Um, and if I like touch her emotionally, she gets it much easier and be like, I got it. Okay, thank you. And then she herself is much easier in like switching the topic, and then we talk about something else. So again, basically fight thoughts with thoughts and fight emotions with emotions. And if she's like emotionally cautious because she's afraid of the corona, coming with thoughts is like not helping. You need to meet her on the emotional level. If somebody is very thought oriented, you can't meet them on the emotional level. You need to meet them on the thought level and rational level. So those are the two levels, and just see where people are at, where's their argumentation coming from, emotionally or rationally, and then use that language. Yeah, okay. And that depends for everybody else. My brother, for example, is very rational, so I can easily talk with him rationally and he will get it. Others are more emotional.
Okay. So, what to care and what not to care?
Good question. I don't know. Can you elaborate on that? But it's a deep question, and what to care about in life and what is not important. I think generally people, that's also connected to stress and negative emotions. And I still feel that myself when I'm stressed, that people stress about things that are totally irrelevant a month from now. And this is sometimes most important. If you like care about so many things, you're like, oh, this, I still have to do that and that and that. And how is this going? And just think, in 1 year from now, will this be still relevant? No. Okay. What would be the worst case? What is the worst case that could possibly happen? Okay, I still survive. It's still going okay. So that maybe helps you to then also realize what is most important. Like, what do you care in 1 year from now? What do you care in 20 years? Or imagine you, Sai, you would be 80 years old and you're looking back on life. What advice would you probably give yourself? That's actually a real question. Imagine that, really. You're 80 years, you're sitting in a chair, and you look back and you give, how old are you right now?
I'm 28.
Okay, you're giving this 28-year-old Sai advice, right? As a clone of you being 80. What would this 80-year-old guy probably say to you? What you should do different or what you should care more about? What would be probably the answer of this 80-year-old Sai?
Stop thinking about the people who are throwing negative comments on your way of thinking.
Here you got your answer. That's what you should not care about.
Okay. So, caring and not caring is the main thing which plays major role in relation, in connection. Right. So, how much to care, how much you should not care?
In an emotional relationship?
Any kind of connection. Can be any kind of connection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's it's very interesting, this question. I think you're still learning on the way, and you can learn in every little situation. Even if you're just like having fun and having some conversation, you can still see like, oh, how far can I take it? How many jokes can I make? How much should I care about the person? How much can I talk and how much should I listen? And like, this is something that you constantly can adapt and think about. And I think it's very important to, it's also, science has shown that that what is making you most happy is on the one hand that you do what you love and be authentic, but also actually having deep connections to other people. So I think it's important to care about the close people around you and that you actually show them that you care about them. You don't need to be the guy maybe necessarily who spends most time with them or give them most of the presents. No, like gifts. No, but to show them that you deeply care about them and you really want them to be happy. And it's not you who wants to suck energy out of them and wants to not feel lonely anymore or whatever. No, it's just you care about this person and you love just the fact that this person is alive. Really show them that you care. This is one of the most beautiful feelings that you can also give somebody else, that you care about them and you think that they are worth it. And then there's sometimes other situations maybe sometimes they react in a rude way or so, but they don't mean it because maybe they just were emotional on this level. So don't put too much weight on some actions of other people. Don't think too much about it. Also think about it and be like, hey, last week you remember you did this negative thing here. Like, just let go of things. Don't have so many regrets in that regard. So don't value this too much. but value their personality in general. And especially value what they do, not what they are. Not like, hey, you're a tall person, I really like this about you, because they can't do anything for that. It's like, well, I don't have any power of that. But if you tell them, hey, you have a really nice character, you really care about things, you ask nice questions, this is like, wow, I can do something for that, and I put effort into that. Thank you for appreciating that, right? So really care about the characteristics that people actually can do something for that and are responsible for it, and care about those, and also share that. Yeah.
Okay. So why we are talking like this? Why you are seeing me and why I'm seeing you? And is this real? Is this reality, or is this imagination, or is this the thing which created by God? Do you believe in God, or is some force is making us to see each other and exchange words about something? Who is me? What is this? Explain this.
I like your deep questions. I love the way you think. I also think that way. I don't have the entire answer for it. I don't know, and it's very fascinating. And we can never certainly say this is real. Have you watched the movie Matrix? Matrix?
No, no.
Okay, I just type it here in the text. Maybe you can also link it. Matrix. That's basically a movie talking exactly about this thing, whether this is reality or not. And in the movie, they basically realized that this was basically just a kind of like a video game they're playing, and they're actually sleeping and kind of dreaming. It's the same when you're dreaming during the night. You don't know whether it's a dream or not in the moment, but afterwards you wake up and it's like, oh, it was just a dream. So we don't know, right? We can never be certain. Yeah. Do I believe in God? I think it depends how you define God. I don't think that there's like a man sitting with a beard in the clouds, or whatever definition there is. I think there is some energy that we are not able to see, that we're vibing on a certain level, that we have different energy levels, and everything is energy. And basically everything, like literally everything in here is God. Like you are God, I'm God, the air is God, the body, like everything that exists, and you don't, like everything is kind of like God and has maybe a meaning behind. But I don't know. I'm a psychologist. I don't know about the universe. What do you actually think? Do you believe in God?
I don't understand actually. I don't know why all this is happening. Is this pre-planned, or
Yeah,
somebody's
I don't know.
making us to do this, or is this is happening because somebody is reacting to our actions, or
Yeah,
they're reacting to our gestures or our emotions. See, the sky, the some I don't know, light is coming in the sky. I don't know why it is coming and
yeah,
why. I don't understand. I sometimes I feel like I, I you know why we are living actually. Why should we live? And what is the
yeah.
purpose of life? What is the purpose of life? Why all this? I don't understand. If you have answer, if you tell me,
Yeah,
I'll
I found it so fascinating that we got thrown into this world. Nobody even asked you whether you want to be here or not. You just got thrown into this life. Here you are, and they don't even tell you what is the goal here, like what to do. They don't even tell you. They just throw you in there and be like, yeah, just do something, whatever. Yeah. Though I think I'm definitely convinced that you can make a purpose for yourself, and you can build and grow a purpose. And for me right now at this point, my purpose is just to live a good life, share, help other people, enjoy life, wonder about life, and understand life, and how fascinating this is to talk with somebody from India right now about the meaning of life. Like, this is the beauty itself. And maybe probably it would be boring if you would know everything already. This would not make it an adventure anymore. So that's a meaning that you can create, and that is most valuable to me, and or to you, or to everybody out there. What is most important to you, and what would be fun to do the next 40, 50, 60 years? Because we're dead in 60 years. So we will die anyway, and we will see what's happening afterwards or not. This happens anyway. But now we have the chance here to live this beautiful adventure and just just live life.
I'll see this video after 2 or 3 years, and I'll think about this. I don't know what I'll think. 2 years, after 2 years, I don't know what will be my mindset. But asking
Yeah,
these kind of questions to you and you responding in your way, telling your perspective and your understanding how
yeah.
you uh, do things,
And
definitely.
my
I don't know.
perspective will also change over time. I will also think differently next year. Yeah.
I saw that in your videos. The different one of your video, you was doing in a shed and you was walking and telling about. I forgot the topic, but I forgot the topic. You was walking and that was about 1.5 or 2 minutes. That was fantastic, actually. I liked that video. I forgot to comment. I'll comment because I don't know what to say because you are just telling. I really appreciate you, man, for what you are doing. I don't know how many people connect with your thinking or thoughts, but I really appreciate you. You just told about a topic for 1.5 minutes, and at the end, you are just walking away. You just
Nice. I'm really glad. I think it was about learning or so. I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. But I also have to give this appreciation to you. I really enjoy and I really respect what you're doing to be like just taking your phone or your camera and just like interview people, just go out there, just talk to people, just try people. Also, back, for example, I said, hey, the next month I don't have time. Approach me next month. The 1st of
yeah,
July, you send me a picture of like a comment like, hey man, let's do it. But you're like on point, you do your stuff, your diligence, you, like you just do things, and that's really nice. I respect it, and I like your curiosity and your creativity and you're not really like biased from any. You're just standing here wondering about life in a childlike way, which is a very very positive and developed thing. I think that you can just image like in an immature way, just like wonder about life, like what is happening. I don't know. Like you're not saying I have this opinion is that way. No, it's like, hey, how is life working? I don't really know. I just have some questions. And this is exactly how we learn. This is the beauty. And I don't see this in so many people, but you fully embody that. And that's a very beautiful thing.
I believe you because you are a psychologist. You study people. I want to believe. I want to
That's
believe you.
a nice end of the 1 hour session, I think.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving your valuable time. And can I put this video on my YouTube channel?
Of course, of course.
Yeah,
If also people want to check me out, you probably again put the link in the video description, and they can watch some videos there.
yeah,
And yeah, I appreciated this call, and I wish you now a good night.
yeah. Thank you so much. I'll definitely. I want all the people for watching this video. I want all you to go and see his channel, Straight Mind. I felt personally connected. I'm sure you will find some good things. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah.